What's happening, guys? This is Alex over here at My Freedom Smokes, and today we're going to be talking about the Dabmaster kit. No, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. I know what you're thinking. I'm not doing the dab. Sorry, not happening. Stupid name aside, this thing actually really works well. Not too much to really talk about with the kit. It is very easy to use, so we're going to go ahead and take a look what's inside the box. Inside the box, you're going to get your tank, an extra coil head. Two are going to come in here because one is not pre-installed inside the tank. You're going to get your micro USB cable. I do not have that in here because I was charging this earlier, which I'll get into in a minute. The other coil isn't in here, which I will also get into in a minute. But aside from that, you also do get your handy dandy instruction manual, which is really just a fold out, which tells you just how easy this thing is to use. So taking a look at the actual unit, the tank reminds me of the sub-VOD tanks. It's about that size. And then the actual Dabmaster battery really reminds me of about the smaller iSticks. Like if you got an iStick 40 watt and kind of shrunk it down, it's really what it reminds me of. To give you some perspective, this is the micro USB charging port on the bottom. So if you can take a look at that, compare it to another unit you have, you just see how big this actually is. It's quite small. Using it is very easy. You've got your firing button right here, and you can't fully set your wattages, meaning that you can't, there's not a digital readout, but there is dots right here on the bottom that kind of let you see just how high you want it. For me personally, I liked it at the second to the lowest. The lowest was just not enough. The second lowest for me was just right. The coil that's pre-installed in here is a 1.4, so it's not really a sub-ohm. What I decided to do is I put my usual all-day vape liquid in here. It's a 50-50 blend. It's a higher nicotine level, so I wanted to see how it performed. For the first 2 days, worked really well. See, nice vapor output, really good flavor. And before I go any further, one other thing I wanted to note, because I actually felt it being used here, is it actually does have a handy little mesh grate at the top here. And what that does is, in case liquid, see, when I first took it out and put it back together, I didn't shake it out. So I actually felt the liquid getting stopped by that little mesh sheet. So that's one thing I really do like about this, is that it does have something in place, that way liquid doesn't just shoot up into your mouth. So, as I was saying, first 2 days worked great. On the third day I woke up, I started using it, and the coils started tasting a little funky, and kind of working with it all day, eventually, you know, I figured out it was burnt out. So I put a new one in yesterday, and I've been using it for the past 2 days, and I'm starting to feel it go again already. I'm not really a fan of that, simply because this is 2 coils in a row, and usually I'm not one to immediately discredit that thing, because sometimes you do get a dud coil. But this one's performing exactly the same as the other did, so I'm starting to not believe that was a dud. So if it really can't handle, you know, a 50-50 blend at a 1.4 ohm, I'm really not seeing, you know, how you can continue to use it quickly and efficiently like that. The other downside was the battery life. The battery life on it, for me, I had to charge it about twice a day. For a every other day vapor, or, you know, someone that's a bit more casual a vapor, they could probably get a full day's worth out of this. And that's more than likely why the coil was starting to go too, is because I'm an all-day vapor. This thing never leaves my hand. I'm constantly puffing on it. Probably the longest amount of time I'm not puffing on it is to make these videos for you. So that is probably why all of this kind of burnout and the battery life wasn't that great, which just tells me that this is not advanced enough for my personal vaping use. So with everything positive about it, the one downside is if you're a very active vapor, meaning that you're going to be using this as your all day, it really might not be suited for you. So because of that, I really do have to give this a 7 out of 10. For someone that's just really trying to kick the habit, or, you know, really enjoys the flavor, this is also a perfect on-the-go one. So for travel, so it's a quick backup. This definitely has a place. I'm definitely going to be using it, but it can't be my all-day vape, simply because if anything alone, let's say the coils are fine, the battery life itself, for me personally, just really doesn't last long enough. So keep this one in mind as a backup. Keep this as a quick on the go. It actually fits in that little pocket on the side of your pants, so that's extremely convenient. And especially if you're trying to keep it incognito and small, you're really not going to find another one that packs the amount of flavor and vapor output as this one does. So it may have its faults, but it definitely has its perks too. So I highly recommend checking out the Dab Starter Kit. If you have any questions about this, feel free to leave a comment below. And until next time, thank you for vaping.